Hey guys, welcome back. This is Cam. Today we are going to do another repotting video. Today we are going to repot these two Dendrobium Warramobool. I purchased these a few years back at an orchid show. When I got it, it was only these canes right here. This cane and one more, which I propagated this one due to the fact that it was rotting, and so I took it and propagated it, and so I got two different plants. And today we are going to repot this plant. One is growing in strictly clay pellet and some rocks, and one is in bark. You can see the containers for these has been pretty much broken up because the plastic is sitting under the UV for a long time, and the sun is finally getting to it. And also, I think the media for the bark has gone bad, so I definitely need to repot these. This one I don't need to worry about much because it is in a clay pellet, in organic material, so it doesn't really need to repot. But I do want to repot this because the pot is broken. So in the past, I make these to stabilize my plant. That works really well. If you guys want to know how to make these, basically they're just made out of wires. Curl them up with a drill, and that's what you get. Okay, so let's go ahead and break out these. This one right here. And rule of thumb: when you tie anything to a metal, you better watch out because you can potentially damage the cane, which I did on this particular one. Okay, so I'm just gonna unpot this and then we'll go from there. Let me bring you guys up to a closer look so you can see the unpotting video. So let's go ahead and tackle this. First thing I need to do is get the plant out of the pot. I think the easiest way is just gonna remove it like this and going like this. Now, as you can see, my media is fully broken down. In the past, I potted with some charcoal. This is charcoal. It doesn't really break down, but I do see that my media has some kind of mold in it. This is a sign that the media has been broken down, and I have a friend here wanting through to get some food. I can see some of the root has been desiccated. That's probably due to the fact that I have not been really careful for this orchid, and as a result, the root is not the greatest root system that I have. I think there was one point I let it dry out for a long period of time, and since then I have killed some of the roots, but it has been rebounded. Root system has been regenerated. I need to gently remove all this media on the roots. There's gonna be a couple of roots that I feel I'm gonna break them up eventually. The roots really growing into the media, which makes it harder to remove. I don't really need to remove 100% of these medias, but I do want to remove the one that I think is bad, like the mushy ones. Just gonna slowly remove all my roots here. It is okay to damage some of the roots, but not all of it. Okay, small damage to the root system. This one will survive. Media has been really badly broken down. I think this is another reason why it's not happy with it. Maybe it's too acidic. I don't know, but I'm going to repot all of my orchids this year so that they can be more happier. I have this friend right here mining for his own food. He's trying to eat up all the broken down media here. This is the result of growing outdoor. This guy's is a little friendly. No worry about it. He's just gonna eat up all the broken down bark and pretty much convert them into some kind of what should I call this? Fertilizers for your gardens. So basically, whatever comes out of him, it will be a great fertilizer for your garden. Therefore, I'm gonna put this entire bark here into my garden, and hopefully this guy can break down further and feed my garden. Hi, little guy. Time to get back in here. So I have got all the medias out, which is already broken down. You see all this? It's been broken down. You can just take it and break it up, okay? This is what's left with it. I'm gonna trim some of the root system, the one that I believe is dead. I will trim it, but I think for the most part, this root system is still pretty much alive. This pruner has been sterilized, so don't worry if you are concerning about spreading viruses and whatnot. I sterilize by pouring alcohol over it and let it soak a little bit, and I also flame it, so don't have to worry about it. I could make a 2 division out of this because this clump of growth right here is coming out of this particular cane. This cane is already old. When I bought it, it was these 2 canes plus 1 more, which I've been rotted it and give me these instead. So what happened is when I bought this, I didn't want to pay the full price for a blooming plant. Now, you guys went to an orchid show, you realize that you got to watch out for your wallet because things get interesting there and you want to get this, get that, and you end up with no money. So what happened is I didn't want to pay for a fully bloom plant, which costs about $60 to $80. And I saw this guy selling these division here, which is about 3 canes per divisions, but there were no viable roots. They were going for about $15 for 3 canes. So that's what I went for. I went $15 for 3 canes, and this is what I got after about 2-3 years. Okay, it has yet bloomed for me because I propagated these from the 3 canes. Okay, now if you went to an orchid show, you know what I mean. All the orchids are very tempting and you want to buy them all. Unfortunately, unless you have a fat wallet, otherwise you're gonna be walking home with just a few that you like. And this is one of the few that I walked in and walked out with. Did I make the right choice back then? Well, I was on a budget. So if you're on a budget, you know what I mean. And so I only get what I can afford. And I really love this plant because the sellers have other plants, the mature size, the bigger size, the one that is in bloom. This plant actually have smells to it, so it's actually had a fragrant smell. And I don't have the flower with me. I don't think I have the bloom pictures from the orchid shows. If my memory serves me correctly, this is a yellow color. And if I find the pictures online later, I would definitely post it, or you can also look it up yourself. I can see that there's a lot of viable eyes. So potentially I could get 2 new growth here. There's 1 here, 1 here. There's 1 here. I think there's 1 on the bottom as well. And if I remove the sheet here, I see there's 1 here. And I believe there's also 1 on this side. So potentially I could get about 5 new growth from this clump here this year, provided that I give it the correct media and the correct conditions to grow in. I will just gonna pot it into bark for this particular one. Okay, so there you have it for this one. Let's go ahead and remove this one. Same one, it's just different media. I think this one, the root system is a lot better because I could barely pull this thing out. All right, so let me go ahead and pour this out. Let me cut this one right here, and actually I'm gonna need this. So probably not gonna cut it. Okay. I'm gonna get this thing out. I don't know. Okay, I think this is the best way to get it out. All right. So this one here has a pretty good viable root system. Some of the older root have died off. I'm not gonna clean up all the clay pellet here because I can reuse these clay pellet because they're inorganic, they don't break down. I just need to trim up the roots that I see no longer viable, which there are a few, and basically that's what I'm gonna do. The one that's still viable, I'm just gonna leave it in here, leave it intact. I'm not gonna touch it. You can see here, I have some mineral deposit here, which I think I need to start paying more attention to them because they're gonna cover up all the new growth here. So I would definitely need to watch out what I water. There was one period of time before I get the water filter from my garden hose, I just water straight up. So I think that's probably why there's some mineral deposit. Now I'm just gonna gently remove the dead sheets, the dead material at the bottom here. Gently expose the eyes to see how many new growth that I potentially can have this year. I could see that this plant's probably gonna give me 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 new growth. So this, we're just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna leave it as it. And let me go ahead and rinse these, soak it, and we'll go to the repotting process. I managed to clean them all. This is the best I can clean. And so the first one I'm gonna be repotting is this one right here, which is back into the bark that it was once in. Basically, I'm just gonna let it sit like this. New growth is gonna grow out like that, so I'm gonna more room on this side. This is the container I'll be using for it. Okay, and the kind of bark that I use is pretty much bark and some rocks. So what I'm gonna do is select a few rocks, put on the bottom for drainage. Don't have to, but the nature of this plant is gonna be top heavy. So I do want to have some kind of a rock to help stabilize the plant a little bit. Okay, so I think that should be a little bit more room. There you go. So I'm gonna plot it like this, like so. I want more new growth coming out this way. Will I be sticking this? Probably don't need it. Okay, because the fact that I think it's pretty much stabilized in this pot due to the fact that I have rocks in there to help me stabilize it. The leaves here have some calcium deposit or some mineral deposit. It's normal because the water that I use is just straight from a garden hose. If you're concerned, by all means use reverse osmosis water to water your plants. But when you have a lot of plants, reverse osmosis can be very expensive unless you want to reuse the water. So if you have the options, go ahead and use reverse osmosis water. If you don't, then like I do what I do, just water them with garden hose. This is it. This is pretty heavy now. I'm gonna pot this into clay pellet. But remember I told you this can get top heavy. So I went ahead and get some rocks, put on the bottom to stabilize it a little bit. And then at the top, I am also gonna add some rocks to the top layer. I think this is perfect. New growth can grow from multiple directions here. So I'm just gonna place the plant in the middle of the pot, in the center, and just gonna pour the media over it. I think that should do it. And I was just gonna top the top with some rocks that I have. You don't have to, but I do it for all my top heavy plants. The one where I think it's gonna be very heavy. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And there you have it, folks. 2 plants, fully repotted. I will get them water, and they're just gonna go back where they once were. I think this will be much happier now that they're in a new pot. Again, it took me a few years to get all these clumps from one particular cane. And if you want to do the experiment, you could. Next time you go to an orchid show, you can buy plants that are in 3 canes, and whether or not they have roots, that's not going to be the problem. Thing you need to do is, can you propagate this by yourself without any root system? and the result is amazing if you can actually give it a try. And this is what I did. Spent a little bit of money, took some years to grow. I'm hoping by end of the year or next year it will turn out some spike for me, because these looks mature enough for me already, and they should be able to spike if I provide them the correct conditions, which I can now. Before, when I lived in the apartment, I grow them under grow light. I think they don't receive enough grow light, and this is why the leaves are very green here. The newer ones are a lot less green, so I think even this one got some sunburn. So I think my light here is good enough for them, because I grow outdoor. So hopefully next year I'm gonna have some flower spike. Thank you guys. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I know many of you guys just come by and watch the video, it's fine. But if you're kind enough to just hit the subscribe buttons to help me reach my goal for 1,000 subscribers, I'd be very appreciated. So please hit the like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any new video that I post. I will be posting more video about how I fertilize my plants,